Welcome to Click Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan, and today's show is being brought to you by producer Danny and myself. This is going to take me outside of my comfort zone and something that I know nothing about other than I like this particular product. You know, typically we're talking about hotels, and we're still doing a little bit of that. But, occasionally we decide to step outside our comfort zone. We talked about commercial real estate with a past guest. We're bringing in a new industry leader. He's been in the hotel business. He was food and beverage manager for one of my favorite hotels that has multiple assets across the country. He went out on his own, and I am talking about Adam Peabody, one of the founders of Reddi Beverage. And if you've watched Friday Night Audit, you know that we have sampled his product there. But let's bring Adam out, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Adam, welcome to Click Connect. How are you?
How's it going, Craig? I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for making time to be on the show today. I love your product, but before we start really going through that, let's have you tell the audience about yourself and Reddi Beverage, please.
Yeah, so my partner and I founded the company back in 2019 as kind of a marriage between mindful drinking and cannabis. So at the time, we launched Flora. That's our flagship product, and at the time, it was the world's first cannabinoid spirit alternative. So we do both CBD and THC SKUs. We do the bottled product, which I believe you sampled, and then we also have some ready to drink canned products, all kind of with a mindful drinking approach to kind of promote cannabinoids as a social beverage instead of alcohol.
I think it's a great idea. And yes, I have tried Flora and I like it a lot. It it mixes with just about anything. And it doesn't have all the damage of an alcohol.
Yeah.
you know, and you know, let's how did you and your partner go about creating this? I know that you were a bartender. I'm assuming he
hmm
was as well. And you saw a need for a product. So how did you give us the creation story? That's what I really think our audience needs to hear.
Yeah, sure. So Flora kind of came to be when my partner and I were both bartending at a hotel, actually, the London House Hotel in Chicago. Um, and we kind of saw an increased demand for mocktails. And at the time, it was pretty much just kind of like a mix of fruit juices. There was nothing really functional about, non-alcoholic beverages. So there were some bars kind of using CBD oils in cocktails. And we decided, what if we kind of took that concept and brought it into a non-alcoholic spirit, which is what the Flora bottled products are. So, like you said, you pretty much mix them just like a vodka or a gin. They're made with all natural botanicals, and then we add a microemulsified cannabis or hemp extract to it.
Outstanding. And I know producer Danny's putting it up on the screen a picture of the bottles. And I got to tell you, the presentation when I opened up that box was just absolutely beautiful. You had a card in there that I just so happen to still have. Right. Um,
That's like our little mantra. THC is
exactly.
the new vodka. Yeah.
And it was one of those pleasures sampling it. Now, I mixed it with cranberry and it does change the color a little bit.
hmm
And the consistency seems to be just a little it's not as clear. It's a little bit more opaque than what
hmm
normal cranberry is.
hmm
But it was just a pleasure to drink. It was nice, it was refreshing, and just felt great afterwards.
hmm
Glenn was over. We dipped back into that bottle again, and and really the nice thing is there are no unpleasant side effects. It's not the hangover the next day. It's not about going out and just pounding liquor. It's
hmm
you can certainly throw it down as a shot or mix it in a mocktail
Hmm.
and have a nice, pleasant drink that is very refreshing, and it complements any social situation. My feeling is, and
Hmm.
um, how is distribution going for you guys? You're in all 50 states, right? And the territories.
Uh, yeah. So with some product, we're in all 50 states. So the
Right.
THC SKUs are, I believe, only in about 30 states. The CBD SKU is in all 50 states. But yeah, pretty much national distribution. We are self-distributed. That's kind of one of the a big pro being a non-alcoholic beverage is we don't have to kind of go through that three-tier system that alcohol companies tend to have to go through.
Right.
Um, yeah, so a big part of our business model is actually the self distribution.
Now, are your clients independent restaurants and liquor
Yeah,
stores, bars? What's the makeup look like for your clientele?
it's a pretty even mix, I would say. I would say primarily independent, like liquor stores, bars, restaurants, stuff like that. We're just kind of starting to get some chain clientele, which is nice.
Okay.
So larger, more established. We consider anything over 6 locations a chain. Um, so yeah, we're seeing more of them kind of hop on board, and we're really expanding our distribution footprint in Chicago in particular, which is great. We're seeing a lot of widespread adoption for the concept, which we weren't seeing 4 years ago when we started it. It was somewhat of a challenge to kind of get bars, restaurants, liquor
Yeah.
stores on board with this concept. But as time has gone on, more and more people have warmed up to it. And now we're receiving inquiries from people that we never thought we'd be receiving them from. Very corporate places.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it's definitely something that I think is catching on in the mainstream.
I love it. And my feeling is that alcohol is not for everybody. And if you are at a high end bar
Hmm.
or a boutique hotel and you've got mixologists that
Hmm.
are crafting cocktails, this
Yeah,
is a whole other level that can complement everything else that's going in there. And I think you know, whether it's through the boutique leadership lodging association or some of the other groups out there representing the indie hotels. I think that's nothing but a plus. It's something for them to put into their magic act because it is about the experience and what's different, what's going to separate you. I've got truly no interest going to a chain restaurant. Okay, I want to
I
go
agree.
to that mom and pop or that couple that just opened up something that have some really good meals and really good atmosphere. We all want to have a nice experience, and I think this is something that just complements all that. Same way at a hotel. It could be a ski in, ski out, like
Yeah,
your former, company that you work for, where you were the beverage manager has. Have
yeah,
have a pop of that when you get back to the hotel, and hey, life's good. So I like it, and I think you've also launched the ready to drink mocktails. Let's talk about that a little bit. You've got
yeah,
them in a
yeah. So
can,
actually, I got
and
one. Yeah, got one right here. You can kind of.
nice. And I know Danny's
Yeah.
got a
So it's a
picture of it as well that she's going to put in.
awesome. Yeah. So that's our blueberry Moscow Mule. So they're basically just cocktail riffs with cannabis instead of alcohol. So each can has 5 milligrams of THC and 10 milligrams of CBD. We do the blend of cannabinoids because it tends to provide a more social high. So it's not as anxiety inducing when you kind of balance out the THC with CBD.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so they're really nice, kind of microdose, and I believe we touched on this in Friday Night Audit. But for me, like beverage is the ideal vehicle to consume cannabinoids in. Um, it's it's really easy because I'm sensitive to cannabinoids, and like it's super easy for you to like fine tune your dosage when you're consuming through beverage because, for instance, with an edible or with when you smoke, it's kind of all hitting you at once. With beverage, you have
Right.
the opportunity to, one, obviously control the label dosage, but also control how quickly you're consuming that beverage. So it's just like alcohol, the faster you drink, the more profound
Yep.
the effect is going to be. With beverage, you can sip slowly if you're a lightweight and kind of dial in the effect exactly the way you want it.
Absolutely. And it when we met through your friend Tom over at
Hmm.
Hospitality MD.
Hmm.
And we were having Glenn and I were having these cocktails when they were on Friday night audit, and it was just like, wow, this is smooth, it's silky, it's refreshing in whatever you mix it with. And then, to my amazement, it's sugar free,
Hmm.
gluten free. Obviously, it's alcohol free.
Yep.
It's vegan, natural product, no
Yeah.
calories.
No calories.
Yeah, you got
I
the
know.
entire gambit covered, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We really do, and that was important to us. It's all about kind
Yeah,
of this more mindful approach and like a kind of healthier option than alcohol. And it was important for us to kind of show that, listen, in our opinion, this is a better social tonic, if you will.
yeah,
This is something that won't give you a hangover. It won't, make you fat. It provides a little bit of a buzz, because just because you don't drink doesn't necessarily mean you don't want any sort of intoxicating effect whatsoever.
right.
So it kind of checks all the boxes for us, and we're definitely of the mindset that this is a better option than alcohol.
Absolutely. And, and I love the glass bottles that the product comes in, and I also like, the recycling factor for your
Hmm.
cans. And, both packages are absolutely beautiful, and the audience is seeing that throughout the show. Um, but I think, it's like, okay, let's name any diet program out there that's basically a subscription. If they test your product and they go, oh yeah, well, this fits in here, you can have this instead of alcohol.
Hmm.
That's a possible client for you. But I think also, the hotels are as well. And
Hmm.
um, you know, beyond the boutique hotels, but let's look at destination resorts.
Hmm.
And we've all seen the person at the pool that had just a little bit too much.
Yep.
So, I think this works out on a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
it's please go
to your
ahead.
no, to your point, we always kind of joke about it. High people are much easier to deal with than drunk people. So we're both former bartenders. We've kicked plenty of people out of the bar for being wildly intoxicated. And you don't have that same issue when you're talking about cannabinoids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, my friend, guess what? It's time for our world famous or infamous lightning round. So,
All right, let's
word
do it.
association, 2 minutes. Producer Danny's going to put 2 minutes on the clock, starting right now.
Okay,
Can a cocktail,
Flora.
new product.
Mango margarita.
Ooh. Your favorite musical band, group, or solo artist?
Oh, Drake.
Nice.
Yeah, got
Favorite
such a good
airport?
voice. Oh, Madrid.
Favorite airline?
Delta.
Aisle or window?
Isle.
Flora.
Hemp spirit. It just naturally comes.
No hangover.
Flora.
Favorite hotel or resort?
Well, I like the Pendry, the Montage Pendry brand.
Nice. You did that with 1:07 left. Congratulations.
Hey, don't too hard. I took the easy route on a lot of those though. It's just like every single like hemp reference was like Flora. Like that's kind of on my mind, I guess.
That's okay. That's not a problem. Easy works. So, my friend, let's talk about what message would you like to get out to the hotel industry about yourself, your partner, and your product and organization?
Yeah, I think the main message that I want to get out is, it's time to start giving customers options at the bar. Alcohol has had a monopoly in the adult drinking demographic for the past 1,000 years or whatever. And I think it's time to start exploring other options. And if you don't do it, then one of your competitors is definitely going to do it. Um, yeah, I think that's my main message to hospitality in general is this stuff is coming.
I agree, my friend. And, Adam, this is so much fun. You've got an open invitation to come back. If you would like to send me an article for our CLIC blog, we'd love to post it there as well.
Yeah.
And anytime you've got a new product, let us know. We'd love to, help you guys spread the word. You've got a tremendous product. It's refreshing. It works in all social settings. And thank you so much for being on the show. How can everybody get a hold of you?
Well, they can email me direct at adam@reddibeverage.com. And then they can also find Flora products at our website, www.florahempspirits.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, Craig.
Take care, my friend.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you to our audience. What a great show, a different show. Obviously, stepping outside our typical norm, but Adam is an exciting person to get to know. Love his company, love the way that they founded it. They've got a great alternative for alcohol, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So make sure you give him a call. Thank you for joining us today. Season 8, more industry leaders, new shows. We'll be back soon. Remember, be kind, share your knowledge, go be amazing.